What's up, guys? My name's Michael. You're watching Frantic Co. Today I'm going to do a video on this bike here, just doing a 6-month update and just kind of highlighting the features and everything like that I want to showcase, whether it be a highlight or things I think could be better, or maybe downfalls or whatnot with the bike. And within the last 6 months that I've owned it, I put over a little over 250 miles or so on the bike. And yeah, so let's get into that. Okay, so first things I want to talk about with the bike. Super solid. I'm very impressed with that. It's got to be the cheapest Amazon e-bike that's a fat tire that is like this moped style. And I'll kind of put in some up closes of it and everything like that. But overall, I would say the bike is super solid. I haven't had any main issues or main concerns. The one thing that I say it is lacking in is the brake. It's just cable brakes. I did just check online, and they do have, for like $20 more, you can get the hydraulic brake version, which they didn't have that when I ordered the bike. So if you are going to get it, I would recommend getting the hydraulic version. It's worth the extra $20. I plan on upgrading the brakes to aftermarket brakes that are hydraulic. Other things that I would say about the bike is the headlight is super bright, so it's nice for riding around at night. I just ride in town, so there are street lights and stuff still, but it helps just to kind of have that. There's also a rear brake light with turn signals on it and stuff. I don't really use the turn signals, but it is nice having that light there, just so if there are cars behind you that, you know, they can see you. A few questions I have had about this bike is what is like the range. So ideally, I actually have a trailer that I pull my child along with me, and I'm a bigger guy. So with me and pulling my child, I could probably get about 20 miles throttle only without pedaling. If I am pedaling, having like pedal assist 2 while I'm pedaling, it tops out at about 10 miles an hour, I believe. I can typically get about 30 miles to a charge on a battery. And again, this is a heavy bike, so it's not going to be the most efficient. I think so. The motor is a 750 watt, and I think it peaks at 1,000 or 1,500. I'm not totally sure. But the bike itself on Amazon says it weighs like 94 or 96 pounds or something like that. So it is fairly heavy when it comes to an electric bike, but I believe that is because it's the moped style. It's not your traditional bike, so there's a lot more metal in the construction of it. And the batteries aren't very light either. And for the battery, it's a 48 volt, I believe 15.6 amp hour. So it's a substantial size battery, which is good. You definitely need that for this bike. I do have a spare battery for it, so I'm able to just swap those out if I want to go. I did do a couple upgrades to the bike, not things that they necessarily needed, but it was more of just a preference thing. For one, I did kind of black out the orange logos that it had on there. Not a big fan of that orange color. So I went with like a green accent, and you kind of see right there the pedals. But yeah, so I did a green accent. So I did pedals, which are just flat pedals. They're mountain bike pedals, I believe. Got those on Amazon, and I can link all this stuff in below. I'll also leave a link to the bike, so if you are looking at it, if you do buy it through the link, I might get a little bit of a kickback from it. If not, it's not a big deal. But I will leave everything linked for you. I also got the same lime green colored hand grips, and those are lockable ones, so they're super easy to put on. You don't have to like pry them on there. You just slide it on and tighten it down, and they're super simple. I learned all that stuff back in my mountain bike days. And then the only other thing I did, since I did swap out the grips, I didn't like the throttle on it was like a half throttle, and it was a twist half throttle, and it just wasn't super comfortable for long distances for me. So I ended up upgrading to a thumb throttle, which I think is 10 times better. I actually feel like that's how it should come from the factory. But yeah, so I did upgrade to a thumb throttle with the grips and the bike pedals. Aside from that, I haven't done any other upgrades to the bike. It's stock. No, I know I've seen some people do upgrades to the motors. You can get bigger motors for these that go really fast, bigger controllers, and mod it and all that type of stuff. But I pull my child around, and I live in a small town and just ride around, so I don't have the need to go any faster. And it goes up to 28 miles an hour, and it gets there pretty easily, even with my big butt on it. So it's fairly fast. Even at 20 miles an hour with these big tires, it's kind of sketchy, so like that's perfectly fine for me. Aside from that, the bike's super solid. I really like it. I think it's got to be the best bang for buck for what you can pay for, especially on Amazon. Free delivery is like $750, or I've seen them on there, it's like $500 something, and you pay $200 shipping. So it still ends up at about that $750-ish, maybe $800 after taxes. Super budget and really nice. I have had zero issues with it. Like I said, the only thing that I would say could be an issue is just the brakes. You just have to adjust those once a month or so if you're riding it quite a bit, as they will wear down since there's a lot of weight on that bike. But yeah, super solid bike, super happy with it. If you have any questions about the bike, please leave that down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer any questions about the bike. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video here. If you stayed this long, I really appreciate you. If you wouldn't mind giving me a quick thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. I've got a lot more stuff coming up soon. I'm gonna start posting a lot more about everything. So yeah, follow along and leave any comments down below of what questions you have or things you may want to see in the future. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.